What's up, guys? I'm Jack, and this is Daisy. Daisy, come here. Yes, we're back. Say hi. Dave. Close enough. And welcome to another video. There are very few characters in gaming who embody power quite like the Doom Slayer. Hi, Daisy. He doesn't speak much. He doesn't need to, though. Every motion, every impact, every roar of his shotgun tells you exactly who he is. An unstoppable force of righteous fury. Video game protagonists and comic book characters, TV show protagonists, often have a fatal weakness. The biggest example of that is Superman and Kryptonite. Though if you want to go into the Destiny universe, the all-powerful Guardian still has a ghost, and if that ghost dies, well, the Guardian can't be revived anymore. And while Superman and the Guardian are incredibly powerful characters, they're not quite like the Slayer. The Slayer is power incarnate. He's a force of nature. He's basically the embodiment of death and righteous fury in this universe. And the Doom games actually, in my opinion, perfectly encapsulate that. Every frame, every sound, and every mechanic in this game make you feel powerful. So this video essay is going to explore why the Doom Slayer is the perfect overpowered protagonist. Through his mythic lore, his feats, the layered hierarchy of the Doom universe, and the brilliant design choices that make him feel like a god among monsters. Each Slayer's origins are rooted in a fusion of ancient mythology and sci-fi horror. First introduced in Doom 2016, he's not just a soldier, he's not just the Doom Marine. He's the Doom Marine reborn, transformed by rage, ritual, and relentless war. He was resurrected by the mysterious Sentinels of Argent D'Nor. He was forged into the Slayer, a being whose singular purpose is the annihilation of Hell itself. So yeah, I want to make that part clear again. This isn't the Doom soldier, this isn't Doom guy from the old Doom games. After 2016 Doom, he is the Doom Slayer, which is an entirely different classification of character. His body was enhanced in the Divinity Machine, granting him superhuman strength, speed, and endurance. It's not just physical power that defines him, it's narrative power. The demons don't just fear him, they remember him. His legend precedes him. He's literally their nightmare. In Doom the Dark Ages, for example, spoiler warning, I should have put that earlier, but yeah, spoilers. The main antagonist on multiple occasions states that the legions of hell fear the Doom Slayer.
I can never rule as king, so long as you are the only one they fear.
And the lore of this universe is more than just a backdrop. It informs every part of the experience of playing Doom. The Slayer doesn't need exposition. His past is embedded in murals, whispered in demonic tongues, and echoed in the architecture of broken worlds. I also want to point out that every time you encounter other human characters for the first time in any of these Doom games, they're scared of you. They are terrified of the Doom Slayer, who is their ally.
The Slayer is dangerous. Keep your distance.
So imagine how terrifying it must be to live in a universe where you are an enemy of the Slayer. Quite literally everybody from the forces of hell to heaven to earth are terrified of this one man, this one force of nature. In terms of raw capability, the Doom Slayer surpasses nearly every character in the franchise's universe. His strength is staggering. He rips demons in half with his bare hands, crushes skull, and cleaves through Hell Knights like paper. His durability borders on the absurd. He survives attacks from gods, crashes through dimensional barriers, and keeps fighting long after a human body would break. He even is quite literally too angry to die on more than one occasion. And within this universe's hierarchy, the Slayer stands apart. The Makers are divine beings. They're angelic, but kinda corrupt. Which, I mean, yeah, that's basically the church in real life. But yeah, the Makers are angels, and there's also the Dark Lord, who is basically just a mirror image of the Doomslayer, yet even in this confrontation, the Slayer comes out on top. And the cosmology of this universe is a bit complex. This isn't a full lore deep dive on the Doom franchise, but there is Heaven, Hell, Urdak, the Sentinels, the Wraiths. But the Slayer isn't beholden to any of them. He isn't divine, he's something worse. Something elemental, a force of nature. A reminder that power doesn't need justification when it's earned through action. Now, let's move past the lore for a minute. Clearly, the Doomslayer is incredibly powerful. What makes Doom as a game feel unique, though, is how it feels. The Slayer's strength isn't just told to you, it's shown. Which, by the way, if you don't know anything about writing, whether it's books, movies, TVs, video game stories, anything, the golden rule is show, don't tell. For example, if a character is sad, you don't want them to just say,
I am so sad. I am so very, very sad.
No, you want them to actually show that. You want them to show their emotion. You want them to cry or just look sad. You don't want to just tell the audience what exactly is happening because that's not satisfying. You want them to be able to figure it out themselves. Which is why I think Doom is so effective as a franchise. Nobody plays Doom for the story, let's be completely honest here. You play it because it makes you feel like a god. Which is quite literally the story. But yeah, anyway, the gameplay. Every action reinforces the Doomslayer's dominance. Take the climbing system introduced in Doom Eternal. The Slayer doesn't scale walls, he punches through them. He doesn't find handholds, he creates them. Even something as small as jumping off a ledge is accompanied by a thunderous ground pound in Doom the Dark Ages. This is a reminder that this isn't a man, this is a meteor. And I'm just gonna play you a sound clip of the Doomslayer climbing, walking, and again, that little ground pound. You'll be able to hear and feel how thunderous it is. You feel like a giant, you don't feel like a man when you're walking in Doom the Dark Ages. So yeah, it's not just the footsteps and the sounds and the climbing and the ground pounds, it's just the combat in general. Combat is movement in this game, there's no cover, there's no pause. You rush towards enemies because you're not just surviving the encounter, you're ending it. The chainsaw executions, glory kills, the mid-air slow-mo shots make it visceral, rhythmic, and empowering. Just the system of killing to get more health is so unique and fun. If you stand still in a Doom game, at least on the higher difficulties, you will die instantly. What's so effective about this system is that the game forces you to play like you're actually the Doomslayer. You don't have a choice. You need to keep moving. You need to keep slaying. You need to keep ripping and tearing until it is done. And that works really well because this game is very fast-paced, so you actually feel like you're just sprinting around a battlefield, destroying things as quickly as you can. You, again, feel like a god, like a force of nature, at least once you get the hang of it. And this Slayer's arsenal of various weapons, tools, and abilities, it's not just large, it's lethal by design. Each weapon has weight, personality, and purpose, which add to the atmosphere. And Doom doesn't rely on dialogue to build up its protagonist. Instead, it uses visual language. Again, show, don't tell. In the second to last mission of Doom the Dark Ages, after defeating a plethora of giants and titans, the Doomslayer calmly steps out of his Atlan, the giant robot that you get to pilot, and he stares down the antagonist who has just consumed a god, or the soul of a god. His disdain, precision, and rage are communicated through his body language and the timing of the scene. He doesn't need to say anything. The antagonist doesn't need to say anything. We know what's about to happen. Again, in this scene, the antagonist had just consumed a god's soul, inheriting its power. And the Doomslayer knows very well what that power can do, thanks to a previous mission. Yet still, he stares down the antagonist with no hint of fear or reproach. This does so much to build up his character as the Doomslayer. And Doom the Dark Ages in general just has great cinematics and a pretty good story overall. So yeah, the cinematic direction evolves. The armor does feel heavier in Doom the Dark Ages in particular. The footsteps are louder. The cinematics show more contrast between the chaos he inflicts and the calm with which he operates. And these scenes don't really slow the pace of the game, they enhance it. They give context to his violence, and in doing so, they elevate him from character to icon. And I do want to talk a little bit more about the antagonist in this game as well. So from the start, Azrak is your classic prince who thinks he deserves the throne. He does wield a great amount of power and again eventually inherits the soul of a god, which honestly makes him pretty strong. As you can see in the background footage, even the Doomslayer's wildest hits aren't really doing much damage. He's not even bleeding yet. And the Slayer actually kind of gets beaten here in this boss fight. Here, take a watch. So yeah, after being stabbed in the gut by a godlike entity, the Doomslayer's dragon comes to his rescue, only to immediately perish. The Slayer, having a soft spot for his pets, picks up his double barrel, and he gets to work. The entire boss fight was the antagonist shrugging off the Slayer's most powerful attacks. And then when the Slayer has nothing left to lose, that's when he unleashes his true rage and beats the absolute hell out of the antagonist. And it's just the most satisfying thing, where the first two phases were, again, the antagonist shrugging off our attacks, to him killing our pet dragon, to us absolutely destroying them. And for that reason, I love this boss fight. Oh, and then in classic Slayer fashion, the Slayer rips out the soul of the god from Azrak's heart. With his bare hands, of course. And I do want to talk a little bit more about the sound design here. So the sound design is more than aesthetic. Like I said earlier, it is a tool of immersion. His footsteps echo like artillery shells, each one declaring dominance. Drop from a ledge, and the screen shakes, as if the planet itself is reacting to his presence. Weapon audio here is also sharp, guttural, and layered. And the super shotgun isn't just loud, it also has character. Glory kills are timed with percussive beats that synchronize with the soundtrack, turning violence into rhythm. Mick Gordon and later composers didn't just create music, they created a pulse that mirrors the Slayer's rage. Every sound reinforces the fantasy. This isn't a struggle, it's a slaughter, and you are the conductor. And so, overpowered protagonists often risk becoming boring or disconnected. After all, how are we supposed to relate to somebody who can't die? We, as humans, have fears, we have weaknesses. We can't go off on our own to fight the armies of hell and live to tell the tale. So I suppose we can survive the grind of a 9-to-5 job while we waste our life away, so that's honestly not much better. But the Slayer works so well as an overpowered protagonist because he's not just a representation of death or a force of nature or divine retribution. No, he actually represents the indomitable human spirit as well. His power is contextual, it's earned and contrasted. The world is overwhelming, the enemies unending. And yet, the Slayer never bends, never gives up. The Doomslayer's strength is believable because it's visceral. His mythos is compelling because it's tragic. And his presence is undeniable because every part of the game, from mechanics to cinematics to sound, works in harmony to uphold it. The Doomslayer is not perfect because he's powerful. He's perfect because that power is woven into every fiber of his design. He's not a hero. He is the reckoning.
The Horde will tear this village to pieces, but our time is running out. Soon, the humans will summon him.
Total purification targeted for the village of Khalim. Launching the Slayer in 3, 2, 1. Release.
Cool, well, I hope you guys liked that. I was hoping it would be closer to 20 minutes, but yeah, that was like my first time actually writing a script, so I might need a little bit more practice on that. I did want to talk about a couple of other random things. First, Master Chief versus the Doomslayer is the stupidest fight I've ever heard of in my life. Doom Marine? Yeah, maybe it's a fair fight, but Doomslayer? No. It's the coughing baby versus atomic bomb meme. I guess Chief has luck on his side, and while he is one of my favorite video game protagonists of all time, I grew up playing Halo, he would not win in any universe, ever. So, no. That's, again, not even a fight. Plus, they wouldn't even fight each other. They would be besties. They would go and destroy the forces of hell together as bros. And maybe the Slayer's AI in his suit and Cortana would become besties too, you know? Also, I figure this is a good spot to put some channel updates in, so... Still working on that Assassin's Creed video. My god. I have so much gameplay footage to edit, which is why I went ahead and made this shorter video, so yeah, that's a thing. I do have a couple of other ideas for future videos. One of them might be a Doom the Dark Ages challenge run, so maybe I'll do like a video essay about a game and then the challenge run accompanying it the next week or something. I don't know, but it was really nice to do a different type of video. Yeah, it was cool to actually have to research a bit and learn about lore and write a script. That was kind of fun. So yeah, to the few of you who did watch my channel update, this is what I meant by higher quality content, like actually writing scripts, trying new things, you know, we'll figure it out as we go. And, well, I am really craving more Doom after beating this game the first time. And I kind of want to beat it on a higher difficulty too, so I beat it on Ultra Violence, which is like the second hardest one, but I kind of want to beat it on Nightmare. I tried a couple Ultra Nightmare playthroughs and I got to like the third mission and then died a bunch. Oh yeah, Ultra Nightmare is basically, it resets you after one death. Like the entire campaign. It's rough. I don't know if I can do that, honestly. I don't know if I can invest the time in that right now. So maybe just a melee only playthrough on Nightmare, which is again the hardest difficulty, but it doesn't reset you. I don't know. Also, Elden Ring Night Rain is coming out in like a few days, so I'm sure I'll be playing a lot of that soon. I'm very excited. And I'm finally almost done training at work, so I'll have a more consistent schedule and I can hopefully start to get these videos out consistently again. So that's going to be exciting. Anyway, Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, please let me know. If you have any sort of constructive criticism, please go ahead and put it in the comments. I would really, really appreciate that. I am new to this video essay type video. And of course, thank you to anybody who is still a channel member. I always love you guys, so I'm hoping to hear from y'all in the comments. I miss talking to you. I know it's been a little while, but looking forward to hearing from you. So, yeah, thank you. And if you want to subscribe, go for it. If not, that's totally okay. Your viewership, as always, is enough for me. Thanks again, and have a good one. Peace.